Welcome to our demonstration of the Megaphone iMIS integration. I'm Ross Austin from Dataweaver International. At Dataweaver International, we have been working with iMIS for over 20 years, providing services, solutions, and support to our clients, including unions, not-for-profits, NGOs, and associations. Over the past few years, we've been working closely with unions and the Union Innovation Hub, the ACTU, and the Victorian Trades Hall Council. Today, we are going to show you the Megaphone to iMIS integration. First, a little bit about Megaphone. Megaphone is a project of the Victorian Trades Hall Council. The Megaphone platform is a platform for progressive campaigns that allows you to create petitions, connect with decision makers, mobilize your supporters, and more. The Megaphone platform works to promote working people's rights and progressive causes, is run by workers for workers, and is proudly not-for-profit. If you have any questions about Megaphone, please reach out to the Megaphone team directly. Their contact details will be provided in the comments section of this video. Now let's jump right in by giving you a summary of how the Megaphone integration with iMIS works. We will also show you how to create a petition from start to finish, how to moderate the petition, and finally, we will fill out a petition and demonstrate the integration working live.
So now let's talk a little bit about how the Megaphone and iMIS integration works. When a petition is signed in Megaphone, that data is immediately sent to iMIS. iMIS accepts the data, and then uses the email address to match to a record. If it finds a match, it will edit that user and add the petition to their record. If there is no match, the integration will add a prospect record and add the petition to that user. If there are duplicates, a special duplicate resolution process begins, and the petition is held in staging mode until that duplicate is resolved. A duplicate can be resolved by matching with another probable duplicate record, by accepting the petition is for a new prospect record, or finally you can discard the petition altogether.
Now let's take a look at Megaphone itself. This is the Megaphone website, and as you can see, we have a number of campaigns that are being promoted to the homepage. It's really easy to start a campaign from here. Literally anybody can start a campaign, but there are a couple of extra steps that will tie that campaign to your integration. The first thing I do want to let you know is that the Megaphone team have a lot of great information in this site, and there's a petition guide here on the homepage, and that gives you a lot of information about how to run a great petition, run a great campaign, and affect the changes that you're looking for and engage with your members. So let's jump straight back and have a look at one of these petitions that someone else is running. And this is an example of a real one that's running right now. You can see they're looking for 15,000 signatures. If I wanted to, I could sign this petition here. You get an explanation, some imagery. You get to explain, why this is an important campaign. You can mark it to a particular region, and of course indicate categories. And this partner section, this is how we tie it to your system. So when a petition campaign is set up, that will need to be tied to your particular organization in order for the integration to work. Just here, we have things like the links to a Facebook page, the campaign website. You can get information posted from others, have updates here as the campaign progresses, and a lot of other useful things. You can also contact the person who created the campaign, and as you can see, it gives you a form here. It doesn't expose any privacy details, but that allows you to communicate with the person actually running the campaign. So let's jump back to the home page, and we're going to start our own campaign. So I'm going to borrow inspiration from an existing campaign. First thing we do is assign a title. Again, literally anyone can create these. without a login. However, in order to actually have that promoted or searchable, it needs to be moderated. So once you create the petition, it can be filled out immediately. So if you can give someone the link to it, but in order for it to actually be used and advertised and promoted, it needs to be moderated. Here is where we indicate who's going to make it happen. Now this could be, your members or anyone. It's just an opportunity to put something in. And this is where we put our general information in. So I'm just going to put some extra information in here. And now we're going to indicate why we think our campaign is important. And we're going to make this a global campaign, so we're not going to tie it to a particular region, but you could. And that's it. You can see it guided me through the whole process. It was very quick. Now we can publish our campaign. At this point, you do need to create an account if you're not part of the system yet. I will sign in because I already have an account. And that's it. My campaign is now live. As you can see, I've got a URL that's unique for this campaign. I can copy that URL and share it with people. I can post my campaign on Facebook, Twitter, share on email, all of those sorts of things. We can also add an image here. I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this demo, but we can add information in here and really set it up to look nicely. Should probably set a status. I'm going to just choose workers' rights, but we have all sorts of things in here. And we can add updates in here if we want to tell people information and just let them know how the campaign is going. As you can see, that comes down here, so people will get that information. Later on, you can email the supporters that have opted in, who've signed the petition, have opted in to actually receive updates. You can deliver the petition as a printable PDF. So if you want to hand the petition around, you can do that. You can collect signatures on paper and enter the signatures through the system like that. So you have a way of handling paper collection. And that is the basics of it. Up in the top here, because I'm an administrator, I can see the moderation section. So you can see that if somebody has put a campaign up that really isn't right, then you can mark it as inappropriate, or if it's spam. It can be, and each of these has a different effect. So for example, if you approve it, it can be available and working, but just not included in searches. But if you think it's an awesome one, it can even be promoted to the homepage, for example. So that's the basics. It's prompting me to do a few things here for the campaign, which I'll skip over for demonstration purposes. Now I'm just going to quickly show you some of the administration settings we have in here. We can obviously we can set a short URL for it, which makes it a bit easier to share. So oops, sorry. Workers Go demo or something like that. You get the idea. So you don't have to have this very long URL. You can have a shorter one. So that's just meant to make it easier. There's a few things you can update in here. You can end the campaign, hide the petition if you're no longer pursuing it, and so on. I'm quickly going to jump into the admin section. This is the one area that we need to pay attention to in order to make sure that the integration works. We need to add a partnership here. Now this partnership is basically how the integration knows to send the petitions to your system. So there'll be a unique code for each organization, and we just have to add this in here, and with that the petition can be tracked. Okay, so that is all we need to do. We can look at the live page again. Now we're basically ready to demonstrate the actual petition signing. So I'm going to log out of here and just show the petitions working with the iMIS integration. Before I actually sign anything here, I'm just going to jump into iMIS and give you a demonstration. So now that we're in iMIS, we have the Megaphone module. On the initial page, you get a bit of a summary of all the campaigns that are running. This will start to populate when petitions are signed. It doesn't get created until that moment. So once petitions start coming in, this will start to fill out automatically. On the incoming petitions tab, on this tab, we have a raw summary of the petition information that comes in live. Each time we refresh the page, there'll be new data. So we have a summary of the basic petition information that comes in, and there's a Google-like search in here. Say, for example, I want to find petition signed by Max Murphy. Whoops. I can filter down to that very quickly. We have incoming event attendees. If you've used Megaphone for distributive events, which you can do, those will come in here. We have support for that too. We won't really be covering that in this demo, but we have that option to integrate for events as well. The prospects tab will basically tell you any records that have been created as a result of a petition being signed. So these are the ones where there was no match and we've created a petition. And you can quickly jump to those records and see what they're about. And finally, we have a tab for handling duplicate exceptions. So now that we've had a quick summary of that, let's go ahead. And so now I'm going to sign the petition. This first example will be for a person who's not already in our system. So what will happen then is the integration will not find a match. It will create a prospect record, or it will create a prospect record and attach the petition to that prospect. Now I keep referring to it as a prospect record, but really that's configurable. You can set it up to create any particular type of iMIS record you like. So there you go. As Linda Belinda, I've signed my petition. I can now share that to Facebook, tell my friends about it, and help drive the campaign. So it's really a community-driven effort here. So now that that's signed, we will instantly have had that information transmitted to iMIS. So here you can see the new campaign has appeared. I can follow this petition link back to the petition. That's pretty easy. And under incoming petitions, we're going to find Linda Belinda. So her petition has come into iMIS. It's come in as a new record. Because Linda wasn't in the database before, we're going to see that Linda is going to appear on the list of prospects. And if we follow the link to her iMIS ID, we can see the record that was created. So we've gathered the basic information that we were given, so far as we have an address and so on. We have a petitions tab where we can actually see the petition that was signed. So that's pretty easy. That's our first petition sign. What we'll now do is we'll just jump back into the petition and we'll do another example. Okay, so this time we're going to sign as someone who is already in the iMIS system. So in this case, the integration is going to make a match, and instead of creating a prospect record, it's going to attach the petition to that user. Okay, we've got all of the typical information that we saw before. We can also add some information. The user is able to tell other people why they signed it. And this will sort of appear down here on the campaign homepage. So let's jump back into iMIS, and as you can see, we've instantly got Skylar Kyler's petition here, showing up in incoming petitions. Because it would have been a matched record, you'll see that Skylar is not appearing in this screen. Indeed, if we now go back to the incoming petitions and look up Skylar's record in iMIS, it's an existing one. It was created before. And if we look at petitions, you can see in this case, it has made a match and attached the petition to Skylar's record. Now, there is this final scenario that we look at, and that is if the integration finds duplicates in the system. In this example, I'm signing the petition as someone that we have in the database multiple times. So the integration will set up a situation where you can resolve that. So let's just sign this. Now, as you can see, the petition has come in. However, if we check the prospect record, we're going to see that Karina Marina isn't here. And we will also find that we have a duplicate exception to resolve. Now, that will generate an email to the administration staff normally, but there are other ways you could do this as well. So what we have to do in order to assign that petition to the right place is we need to go over here and click on the resolve button. And from here we have a number of options. We could accept the prospect, and what that will do is it will create a new record. It will say, well, actually, I don't think these two are duplicates. It will create a new record in iMIS and attach the petition to that record. Or we can decide, look, we don't want to actually go ahead with this petition. We can discard that one. Or finally, we can choose which one the petition actually belongs to. So we have this option, and it's dead simple. We just choose Karina Marina. I'm deciding that this is the real record. And when we click resolve, that is going to make the correction for us. If I refresh this page, we're going to see that the exception is gone. If we go to the prospect, we're going to see Karina Marina is still not in here. However, when we look at the incoming petitions, we're going to see that there is a status of resolved for this particular petition signing. And so when we go and look at Karina's record, we'll now see that the petition has been assigned to her. This concludes our demonstration of the Megaphone iMIS integration. Thank you very much for watching. We will include links to various resources in the comments section below. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you.